Very excited to bring you this episode. Guess what we finished? The interior. Just got it done this weekend. Just finished everything. Today we did the garnish molding on the doors, on the rear, on the front windshield. We put in the sun visors. We put in the last pieces of a headliner on the B-pillar and the sail panel. Window fuzzies on the back glass too, and on the front glass. We got all that in. So, a lot to cover in this episode. Seems like it was simple. We got a few things out of order. We'll confess to our sins during this episode. But anyway, if you're interested in seeing how we got this done, stay tuned. Good morning. I'm super excited this morning. I'm really excited that we are within weeks of having Christine finished and running. This has been 4 years. 4 years coming to it. I'm working on the interior. Today's the last day, more or less, on the interior. I'm going to put in the garnish molding today. So you can see I've got my door panels in. I've got my seats in. I've got the headliner in. I've got the carpet in. I've got all of that. So now I'm going to put in my garnish molding around the door and the rear quarters. So you can see that's the last little piece that holds in the side panel and the door panel is the garnish molding. Goes around there, and it's also got a little B-pillar piece to the headliner and then a sail panel piece to the headliner, or what we also call a C panel. And so the garnish molding also goes around the windshield. I've had all of that painted for a little while, and then even though I wrapped it in paper, it had been out there for so long that I ended up having to repaint a quarter of it or half of it. But anyway, I've got it all. It's all looking really good. I got brand new stainless steel screws. I've got my window fuzzies, my window felts. We're going to put those on, so let's just get into it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the window fuzzies. So here's the garnish molding for the driver's side rear quarter. And I got a pre-bent kit of all the window fuzzies. But what this is, these window fuzzies, you can get these in straight lengths. So if you end up with just needing a piece, you can buy this like in a 4-foot joint. So you can get these from Summit or Speedway or any one of those other big box retailers like that. But what this is there's a stainless steel clip over a series of segmented pieces that allow this to bend. So you can bend it like this as long as you keep it pinched together. And if ever any one of these starts to unzip, I don't know if I can find an end, but you can see here, you can see how the end is. It's pinched here on the very end, but it'll unzip from this. So you can open this up with a very sharp edge. You can open it up, push the fuzzy back in, and pinch it back closed if you're surgically careful. So how this mounts, originally this mounted with staples. You can see staples all along the length of this. And then in the future, somebody came in and replaced them, and you can see holes probably for pop rivets. Or little small screws. So there's little holes here that somebody had for small screws. So I am going to use a combination of molding adhesive. So I'm going to use a 3M product that is for plastic emblems. And this is what I'm going to use here. I'm going to use this on the entire length of it to keep it in check. But I'm also going to install a couple of pop rivets along the way. One of the things that we do need to do, though, is you can see, look at the shape. Watch, I'll turn it over. It's going to be a little clearer. As I put this piece on, you can see I'll line it up back here. I'll line it up here. And look, so straight down the line here, not even close here. So this has got to be bent a little bit more, and it's sometimes easier to tune this on the piece because when it's off, it's very flimsy. So we're going to have to straighten this out a little bit and make this work. And if this nape is not exactly right, we might have to move it. Hopefully not, but we'll see. And here's the other side. If I flip it, you can see how it doesn't line up back here. And then here, let's see if we can get it. You know, it's straight, but then if I line up this corner, line this up, That's lined up. Look what it does there. So it looks like we're probably pretty close to the nape here, but I'm hopeful that I can get this arc into it, and then when I swing that down, and it's going to come, that's got a good 4 inches to move down. So hopefully when I get this to move down, it'll work. I have a couple of welding clamps over here holding this down. It's not glued or screwed yet, but I just want to show you that this piece is very flimsy. You know, you can bend it. So look, it'll come. It'll come. Look at that. So as long as I'm holding it, and what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm holding this flat on this piece, so that as I pull it, it doesn't have the tendency to want to warp out of plane. So now that is starting to look really good. A little more curve. Straighten it out here. And now I've got to get this back side. Let's focus on that. I think it's going to go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, look, it's wanting to fold over this way. Yep. I don't have a long surface to guide it. So what I might have to do is I might have to, when I pull this over, you see how it rolls over that way? I'm going to have to cheat it like that. Persuasion. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Look. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put the adhesive on it, drill some holes, and put some pop rivets in it. Don't want to put too much of this. I don't want to make a goopy mess. That's all we need to do. It's just a little bead to help it so that it doesn't want to kind of wiggle out of place or, you know, pop off the surface if it's got a little bit of room to give. And the kind of thing that if you have walked up to it and you want to push and it comes off, push and it comes off. That's what I'm trying to avoid. We're going to get it. See, so 2 clamps there, and you can see this is already starting to tap. Let's get this in place. It's an 1/8 inch hole, and I made sure that I reached around to make sure that I wasn't going near an existing hole. And what I like about the pop rivets is it's got the least amount of reveal, so hopefully that won't scratch my windows, but I don't want to put many of these. I really don't. That's the first one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rivets. They're about 6-7 inches apart, and the back is adhered nicely. The front's kind of giving me a little bit of problem. The nearest rivet I put is over here. I didn't want to hang out in the corner. I don't know why, but I've got this now ready to go. So I'm going to do the other pieces of garnish molding the same exact way, or the other side. So let me bring out one of the door garnishes because it stops short of the front because I have a vent glass. On a sedan, you can see, so here's the window fuzzy that's on the stainless trim. So this window fuzzy here, it comes back to the run channel that goes up, and you'd see how it ends here, but then it goes along and then it dives 90 degrees, boom, it goes down at the run channel on the other side on the back of the vent glass. So when this garnish molding comes in, this molding is going to stop short. It's going to be right there. So what I really need to do is I need to bring the garnish molding over here and mark where that is and make sure that I hit that point. So you'll notice as I brought the garnish molding over here, it's got a little indent. There's a little indent right there. I don't know if it's going to show up very well, but that aligns with this chrome piece for the vent window. So now I don't have it pushed all the way in because it's hard to get in and out, but I wanted to at least make sure that this is about where it goes, and you can see it's close. It's close. So as far as front to back goes, that's where it needs to be. So what I need to do what I need to do there is I need to just remember that if I turn down 90, right at where this starts, just a little past where it starts, if I turn down 90, I'm going to be perfect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to attach it just like that. So let's bring the fuzzy to it and then put that right at that indent, just beyond it. Follow it all the way back, and the curve is looking like it's close to where it wants to be. So after I finish this, I'm going to do the other two pieces of garnish molding with the fuzzies, and then we'll go into the car and see what we can do to start installing this, which will probably be the headliner. So now I'm in the back seat, and I need to finish this headliner trim out. So where this comes down here, there's a tack strip that the windlace is stapled into, and my Ciadella interior kit gave me a cardboard piece. So what's going to happen is we're going to glue a piece of the headliner material onto the surface of this cardboard, and we're going to leave a flap long. Then we're going to staple that flap here, and that's going to make a blind seam, so to speak, a blind edge right there, and then that will stay down. Then the garnish trim will hold this side in, so the right side will be stapled in the back, and the left side will be held in by the garnish. Same thing on that side, and then after we do that, then we got to figure out what to do back here, but it's similar. All right, I'm using Gorilla Contact Adhesive just in a spray can. It doesn't need to be a whole lot, just to keep it from creasing and wrinkling and keeping it flat. So Ciadella was good. They gave me like, I don't know, like a half a yard by the full width. We got a couple feet of fabric. Plenty for these little 4 pieces that we need. A little bit on that, and a little bit on the fabric here. So here at the back, you've got the garnish moldings that hold the headliner at the top. It's stapled along the bottom surface. Now, Christine, I had a lot of rust back here, and I had a lot of repairs. So this headliner is supposed to tuck underneath this black rubber that holds the glass in. But unfortunately on Christine, when I get to these corners, I'm really fighting for room. So I just don't see it happening. I think I might have been able to get it on this side, but I don't know. It just wasn't working out. So what I decided to do is I decided to glue that. I decided to just glue this in place against the molding. Because really I've got a gnarly area back on this side. I hate to admit it, but it's back here. So I do plan on screwing this down some sort of which way and having the that sail panel piece somehow come up in here, but I'm not quite sure how just yet. I'll have to play around with that, because this is just the funkiness of Christine, and we just need to do something to make this corner look good. So the way this is going to work, we just need that same tail piece to come along, and there's a tack strip that goes all the way down here to where my finger is here. So if I can do that, and then what I'll do is I'll actually fold it and wrap it around the back side of this, and then when I bring it in here, what I'll probably do is I will probably glue it to the rubber, just like I did on this other, on the headliner itself. And I was hopeful that I could maybe take this and extend this in, but you can see I'm lacking for length here. You know, it's stuck there, and I've got like a 1/4 inch gap. So what I need to do is when I fold this, I want to tuck this underneath. I need to bring that vinyl further out and then fold it back. So I can't fold it on the crisp edge of this. So let me go see if I can't make something look good. Oh, I must have hit the tab. Yep. Well, I wish I could have showed you a video of me putting this in, but I was just completely in the way. But there's a screw here, here, one here on the side. There's one that's blind behind the seat. Since the seat is in, I can't get it. And then this sail panel vinyl is just going to slip in the back of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it underneath my headliner. I think it's supposed to go over it, but I don't like that look. So I'm just going to slide it behind it like this. Get it tucked as far down as I can. Pull it up here maybe. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to get some glue and I'm going to glue it here in that corner. But that's what this is going to look like. I wish it didn't have that wrinkle, but oh well. This is as good as it gets from me. I'm liking it. I really am. And remember I was telling you about those rivets? I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can get a good angle. I don't think you can. But there's a scratch right here. Right here where there was a screw that was gouging from the felt before. But the window does roll up and down pretty easily. There we go. And that's where my run channel was pinching. And now it's not. So we're looking good. And the passenger side is done. So I knew better than to clip this now. I clipped it before I even came in here, but I got it. So that's that part. Got the screws in. Again, there's one screw that's back here, but the seat's kind of holding it right now because I just don't feel like taking it apart. And this is the wonkiness way in the back here. So I'm gonna shove this sail panel back here, just like that. And I wish that was tighter, but it is what it is. It's just the wonky shape of Christine back here. So that looks good down there. Again, contact cement, I'm gonna bring it in and glue that. But yeah, that's gonna work for me. That is gonna work for me. Just need to get it cleaned up. And we are done in the back. So now let's get to the doors, and I ought to be able to show you the doors pretty much in real time because I can set the camera up. All right, this one has 1, 2, 3 screw holes at the top, one on the back side, one on the corner, and then 2 on the forward side, and then nothing else on the bottom. But the bottom's got to go over this little lip, which I know from experience is going to be a pain in the foot. So, whew, I don't know how to fight this in there, but what's got to go first, because you got to go up and under and in and over, and everything's got to interlace. So you've got to get this over the lock pull at the same time you get it over this. So I've got to snake it over a bunch of things, behind a bunch of things, over a bunch of things, and get it to where it's all in there. And meanwhile, my door panel, which is good and fat, is giving me trouble. So I'm trying to get this over that, and the door panel itself is pushing me out. So what I've done is I went and grabbed a clamp, and I'm going to try to use this for some persuasion, but it doesn't really want to stick. I'm close. I've got the back side down, but I don't have this middle or this forward. This forward side's pushed up a little bit. So I'm going to put a screw back here so I can not lose, or I can gain something, not lose everything. Yeah, that one had eyes. All right, well, we know we're in the right spot if we're finding the screw hole right there. So I think this whole back side of this door, this whole back side's in the right spot. But this middle, I just having a hard time. So I need to get this in some more. I don't know, let me fiddle with it. Yeah, watch. I was able to push it in. So now it's kind of behind it. Hopefully it'll be behind it enough to allow it to go down, and there it went. Woohoo! All right. There it went, there it went, there it went. It is in. All right, and that fuzzy is just right up here. So now let me get these screws in, and hopefully this will get it. Oh yeah, that's tightening up now. It's a little bit flimsy, but now it's firming up. One last one just back here. Found it. All right, step back and look at it. I think that looks great. That looks awesome. Trims out the front very nicely. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of anything. I know I was bumping the door. It was real tight at one point in time there. So I'm not liking this. As I'm going to close the door, look, I had to hold the windlace out of the way. It wants to pinch. It wants to pull it. It wants to pull it in. So I had to push it out of the way. I'm wondering if I don't need to do something with it there, but watch how tight it is. If I hold it out of the way and really slam the door, I'm still not closed. I'm not latched. I gotta slam the heck out of it. And look how tight that is. I guess that's normal. Let's see. Am I shut? Yeah, I'm shut. Okay. I don't know, man. You know, might have to like pull out the I might have to pull out some of the fill material in this. I'm not liking that. Somehow I might need to figure out a way to do that. Smash it? Not quite sure. But that's going to be trouble on this side and on that side. It's always something. Whatever is going on with this door is built in. It's baked in. So I can slam it, and look at my gap. I did not fool with any of this, okay? I did change the rear quarter panel. I didn't change any of this, but look how far back my door is. Door skin is new from the bottom down, but heck, this is far back. And then look, I did rebuild the A-pillar up here. That was all rebuilt, but it I didn't move this door. So I don't know why it's so tight. And it's so tight, it's impossible to open it up with a single thumb. I can't even pull it. I can't even push it. It's under so much tension right now. So I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. That's just not good. Same thing on the driver's side now. Gotta go in and somehow get it over the latch here while pushing this in. Getting that in. Pulling that up. Alright, that's one step. Got to get it over this thing while being under this thing, because I can't open the vent glass. It is a Tetris puzzle. You know what? I'm going to put the pull knob on that. I've got a pair of black dice. I wanted to save all my bling for like an episode, you know, like kind of like making the magic come alive when you can see what Christine's theme really is. I mean, you can kind of get a vibe for it, but here we go. So, oops. So that's on there. That'll hold that from coming off. Under that, over this, under that, over this. What a mess. What a mess. I don't know how the factory originally did this. If there's a trick out there, I invite any one of my subscribers or any one of my viewers to just go ahead and just shout it out if you know it. Because this has got to be easier than what I'm doing. Got to be. I finally got it. Wow, I had to pry back with the screwdriver on the backside and push it. But now I had to also open the vent glass a little bit. That's closed. Let me see if I can't get the screws in. All right, we're getting close. Getting close. All right. We're cooking with gas now. If anybody's curious, I'm using number 8, about 3/4. Going right in. The number 8 is the oval head, but it's got just the right amount of taper, or the diameter of the head is just right for the indent in the garnish molding. Last one, and if it's got eyes, look at that, right in the original hole. So we know it's in the same spot that it was before. Take a step back and look at it. That looks amazing, but now I know better than to slam it because I need to see what that windlace is going to do over here by the dash. I'm going to watch it closely. Still tight, not as tight, but still tight. A little better. Check out my dice. I'm so amused by small things. That's a detail that I like a lot. Tighten that up. All right, this side is so much better. I can at least open it. The other one I can't. Well, good. All right. So now what? I guess I'll go put the dice on the other side. All right, here we go. One last detail, huh? Put that on. And it works. There we go. I'm liking it. That's a nice little detail. I like the black. It goes with all the interior. Goes with it. Check it out. Let me get this thing cleaned up and we'll take a step back and look at everything. Nah, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I've got the garnish on the dashboard. The windshield, we got to do that. So that's the next thing, and then we'll be finished. So let's do that. All right, there's 6 pieces of garnish molding. There's 2 across the bottom. Technically 7. And there's a little cap that marries the 2 in the middle. It's the splice. And then you got the 2 ends that rise up in the corners, and then 2 that come across the middle, and then the rear view mirror is at the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bottom. I'm pretty sure that the bottom and the top, they go in, and then the 2 end caps go on. So we're going to start with the bottom. Super duper easy. See the holes in the body. So boom, 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 and it comes roughly to the center. And that's where the splice cap is. So I'm gonna put that one down, put the other side down. It goes in there. There's the screw hole. It's a slot actually. And then that goes in. Okay, so let's get those started. All right, got those started. Well, this one's not started. Why not? There we go, because it wouldn't pop down. Get that one down. There we go, it's white now. All right, the other side. It's getting harder to work on, Christine, because now I've got the seats and the interior in. But that's actually a good thing, isn't it? That was hard. Might need to get a bit of stubby for that one. That one's easy. And that one's easy. Wait, so draw it down? So this one, oh look, it's popping up, so something must be wrong here. An issue. Figure it out. Need 2 hands. Got it. needs to be tightened. Look at it draw it down. Perfect. All right, now I need to get the centerpiece. And the centerpiece goes over like that. Get a screw. Screwdriver. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So that's looking good all the way around. All right, next one. I'm holding the corner piece up here because I need to see where does this thing end. So I can tune all of this, but I need to see where this one ends because I need to see where the next one starts. I've got no indexing at all for where these holes are. And I know the piece that goes here goes underneath that, so it looks like it doesn't come any further than right here. All right, for this top one, like I said, the center, here's my rearview mirror. So the two center ones, the center screws go through that. So this has two screws that hold it up, and then to the left and the right of it are how far apart those two, like the two garnish molding screws are. It's the two slots because they go through that. So I need to figure this out. Maybe if I put this up first, then I'll get it. So which means I need to go clean it. Let me go see if I can't polish this. I'd like to have the same rearview mirror that Christine had because, I don't know, it's the same one I was always looking at. So let me go clean it and I'll come back in and maybe we'll put this up and see how that works. Cleaned it up. Cleaned up pretty good. So when this goes up here, I'm gonna find center, and I pretty much found it. And then I was rooting around with a wire and I found the hole that indexes everything right there. So that's going to be my index. I'm going to go ahead and go through that to hold this up temporarily, and that ought to spot everything in. And there it is. Look at that. Found it. Boy, hunting, blinding, finding it. Okay. So now what that's doing is that's going to index all these other holes. So I'll be able to find those now. Let me hunt those down. You want to talk about living right. I mean, this thing is going right in. Look at that. I mean, it went right in a hole. One more. How about two in a row? Let's see. It found it. It found it. Huh. All right. I am now home free, I'm pretty sure. All right. So now I need to get the other two pieces up, and then I also need to figure out where the heck my sun visors mount. Once I got this one, that was it. Here went this one. I'm finding them. I'm finding them. So now let's see. That's it. Let's see. Two on this. That's right. 1, 2, and then the end piece is held on by that. All right. So I need to get 1, 2 here, and then the two end pieces. Getting this corner piece in, I'm going to need a 6-foot long screw to get to that. I mean, it's that deep just to get to that point. I don't know that I got a screw long enough right now. I mean, look, that's probably an inch and a half screw. And chasing this one in the corner has been tough. I finally found it. I can see it back here. I can see it back there, but then finding where to put it when I put the plate back on, when I put the cover, it's been hard. So I've been working at it like this and hoping to find it, and I'm close. There it is. But there we go. If I can repeat that, if I can see the angle, I'll be able to get it. Man, it's taking forever. Well, that screw's just not long enough. I need like 1.25 inches. I need 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches over here, which I don't have. Then up here you need like 3/4, and here you need like 1 inch. I don't know what's the deal with this gap. I might be able to take the screwdriver and bend. That's the alligator plate that's back here that's in the way. and you can see I had a staple pull through. I'm going to have to doctor that a little bit when I want to do some detailing. I've also got to put my rear view mirror vents, I'm sorry, I also have to put my sun visor vents up here. So let me go ahead and get this side done. Oh man, what a pain. Well, until I get some longer screws, that's as good as I can do. But it's in. It's in. So the last thing we're going to do after we do this is now I'm going to get these two visors up and call this one a day. So here's Christine's original sun visors, and they're pretty ratty. You know, moisture was getting to them. And here are the new Ciadella sun visors, and I noticed one was marked D for driver's side and the other one wasn't. And the one that wasn't, I'm assuming, is of course passenger side, and one of them slides out and the other one doesn't seem to. So I'm gonna go with what they said and put the one on the driver's side on that side and then the other on the other. And here's my original hardware, which is can't be 1956 hardware. This cleaned up so nicely. This must have been reproduction or replacement or something that the previous owner of Christine 25 years ago put in new, but these cleaned up really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and mount the hardware onto the sun visors, and then we're going to go and find those holes in the headliner and cut a hole. Oh no. And then screw these in. So same trick, I took a wire and poked through the holes until I found the circle, and the circle is right there, and I just popped a little hole. So now the spring for the sun visor goes in that little hole, but I need to open it up a little bit and find the screw holes, but that's the right location for it. So this is definitely where it goes. Now I just need to find the holes, the screw holes, and then once I do that, then that'll hold this corner tight. So I can reach behind here and I can feel where the screw holes are. There's one right there, and if I can start that one, let me see if I can find that one. Let me mark that one, and then I'll get another one. I really wish I could set the camera up. All right, I found another one over here, over on this side, right there. Found them. There's a third one right there. Right, like here. Right nearby that. I got it. That's gonna go in, I'm sure. Fingers crossed. Found it. All right, get that one a little snugged up a little bit more. And then I'll get the third one, because it can only be in one place. It can only be in one place, huh? It can only be right there. On this side with the steering wheel in the way, it's a pain in the foot. There it is. Third one. And then we'll be able to get the passenger side a lot more easy. All right. That's that. Need to get the sun visor on, but we're going to do that side too. Man, this side went zippity-doo-dah. It was like nothing. Got the other one on. Now I need to get this one on. And there's two set screws that hold the visors on right here. So there's a groove on the axle that the sun visor pivots on. And that is what holds it from coming out. All right, these are all tight. Let me get the sun visors and we can go ahead and put them on. And that's what I was talking about. It's got a little groove in it. So when you slip this in order to get my old ones out, I had to pry them. But you'll see, it should be a space should be a place for, let's see, like when that goes in, it's gonna be like that. There we go, I got it all the way in. So now you can see through and through. And when the set screw comes in, it just tightens to the other side and holds, it pinches it and holds friction on this pin. But now the pin can't slide out because the screw is in the way. So we just need to tighten this up. It's hard doing this without a tripod. Alright, before I ruin something, let me just go ahead and do this. And here's the passenger side. This is the one that'll slide. And the only thing I can figure is they don't want the driver's side sliding in front of the rear view mirror, maybe? Because it's locked. It doesn't slide like that. But I mean, what? Is that for safety? I mean, give me a break. This is a 1956. It's a 70-year-old automobile. It doesn't have airbags. It doesn't have anti-lock brakes. It doesn't have... shoot, it doesn't even have objects in the rear view mirror are closer than they appear. It doesn't have any of that. But anyway, all right, here we go. So there's the sun visors. 1, 2. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, let's step back and look at everything, but we're going to start with the garnish on the windshield. And that's looking good. The only thing I need to do is when I get some longer screws, I'm going to tune and tweak this. I'm going to hide that. I'll find a way. I will find a way. So I need longer screws on that. And then you saw here on this passenger side door, the windlace is getting in the way of the garnish on the door, which that's not exactly pure success, but it's not, I don't think it's my fault. I don't know. But the door will shut. It'll shut. It's getting better, but it's pinching the heck out of that windlace. I love my little dice. Got the windlace, I'm not sorry, not the windlace, got the garnish molding on the back. It's got its fuzzy on it. Like the sail panel. Now that's the headliner for the sail panel, headliner for the B-pillar. Same thing on the driver's side. Headliner, headliner. Garnish, window fuzzy, garnish. That's gonna do it. Boy, I tell you what, these seats are comfy. They're very comfortable. So I'm almost completely done with the interiors. Just a few little things. I gotta tuck a few wires in. I gotta do my gauges. That's what I'm gonna start turning my attention to next. I'm basically finished with the interior as far as everything I'm gonna do before I get her running. So my goal is I'm gonna come back out here tomorrow and I'm gonna work underneath the hood and I'm going to put my valve covers on. I'm gonna put the carburetor on. I'm gonna put my plug wires on, my spark plugs in, put some oil in it. And then I'm going to, hopefully during the week, I will be able to get a trailer, roll her up on a trailer, bring it to the exhaust shop. Exhaust shop's only gonna take a day or two to put the exhaust in. And then I'll have it back next weekend, and if all goes well, we might be turning the key next weekend. What do you think about that? Oh, that would be so awesome. If not next weekend, surely the weekend following. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Do hope you got something out of it. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you enjoy my channel, I'd love a subscription. So until I see you next time when we're under the hood, take care of yourself. Cheers.